Hey, how y'all doing today? Welcome back to Columbia Auto Service. My name's Brian. I am the owner operator here at Columbia Auto Service, and today we have a 2014 Chevrolet Cruze with the 1.4 turbo in it. It's a used dealership's car. They bring their cars up here for us to check them out and do the oil changes on them. But anyway, their concern was it had an oil change on it. The check engine light was on. It was making a squealing noise in the engine after it runs a while. Well, we already took care of the oil change, and the squealing noise is the belt slipping on the pulley. So we're going to put a new belt on it. But the check engine light, there were several codes for the check engine light. I used to work at a GM dealership, and we had this problem a lot. And since I've been here, I've had this problem a lot with these vehicles. But anyway, this is all the codes it was setting. Let me flip y'all around. Let me flip it around so I can show y'all the codes. But anyway, it had a P0106 map sensor, a P015B O2S delayed response, P0171 fuel trim system lean. The little asterisk beside it means after I cleared them, that's one of the codes that came back. P0299 engine underboost, P0420 catalyst system low efficiency, P0507 idle speed high, P1101 intake airflow system performance. Asterisk beside it means it came back on the next drive cycle. P2270 O2S signal lean sensor 2. All right, with all those codes being said, as soon as I've seen all the codes, I've done so many of them, I knew right where to go. But I'm gonna try to show y'all, if y'all are searching for a problem on these Cruzes, what the problem is. It causes all kind of codes to set. But anyway, there's actually a bulletin on it, GM service bulletin. Indicator P0171. It doesn't have all the other codes. But anyway, these are any of the vehicles it could be set on. Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolets with this 1.4 turbo engine in it. Then you stroll on down the condition. Some customers may comment that the MIL is illuminated. Some technicians may find P0171 or other airflow related codes set in the engine control module. And that's the thing that I've always found. I've always found a ton of codes whenever we have this problem. I've always found a ton of codes because of this one thing. And then the cause is the condition may be caused by a torn positive PCV crankcase pressure control diaphragm. The PCV crankcase pressure control diaphragm and the PCV valve could be torn, allowing unmetered air to enter the crankcase. Follow the diagnostics in SI for a DTC. Anyway, that is the problem right there. On top of the valve cover, it's a little vent right there, and it's not supposed to be open and drawing vacuum in. So to fix it, you have to change out the whole valve cover. We'll walk out here to the car in just a minute, and I'll show y'all exactly what's going on. Well, before we walk out there to the car, let's look at the steps GM's bulletin says to take. Remove the engine cover. There's a little cover on top of the engine. I'll show y'all that in a minute. Verify the dipstick is fully seated. The oil cap's tightened. With the engine running, listen for noise coming from the PCV valve, that little place right there. If noise is heard, check to see if the noise gets quieter or disappeared with the dipstick removed. Reinsert the dipstick. Normal operation of the PCV crankcase pressure diaphragm could cause a tissue to flutter against the port. Yada, 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 yada. Check to see if there is vacuum at the PCV vent in front of the PCV valve. So what I'm going to do, we're going to walk out here in just a minute. There's a little cover over all this. We're going to pop that cover off. We're going to stick our finger. It's going to be just sucking. You're going to hear it sucking right there. I'm going to stick my finger on it, and I'm going to have suction right there on that little thing right there. If there is suction on this port right here, up underneath this valve cover, on the top of this valve cover, this is your problem. It causes all kind of problems. It'll start out with a check engine light, and then it goes to the engine starts stuttering and fluttering till the engine runs rough, and then eventually when it gets bad enough, the engine might even die at times. Let's look down here and see what the fix is for it. This one right here. If the PCV valve is making noise and there is vacuum present at the PCV valve vent, replace the camshaft cover or AKA valve cover. Refer to camshaft cover replacement. So we're gonna go out here and we're gonna check it out. Show y'all exactly what the deal is. You can't see it on the tag, but I can feel it kind of stuttering a little bit. We're gonna pull around here in a different bay and look at that valve cover. This is the little cover right here I was talking about. You just gotta pop this cover on. There's our valve right there. I'm sure you can't hear it with all the racket, but it's got vacuum on this PCV diaphragm right here. You hear it? You hear it? I don't know if I can hear it on camera now, but that's the problem right there. To fix that, you got to change this whole valve cover out. One of the great inventions GM brought to us. So we'll get this valve cover changed out. Anyway, there's our new valve cover. Anytime you get a part you order, you want to take it out of the box, make sure it's right, because a lot of times, even though it says it's the right part, they'll send you the wrong part. And this one here looks right, so we're gonna go ahead and get that valve cover changed out. It's got a brand new PCV diaphragm on it. All right, we got the valve cover off of it, or as SI calls it, camshaft cover. It's just nuts and bolts. I figured there wasn't no sense in us showing you how to do it. You boom, 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 all the way around it, some bolts. Unsnap a few wires and it comes right off of there. But the main thing you want to do before you go back on with the new cover is you want to get all this sludge and debris off of it. Get you a wire brush and some brake cleaner or something. Get all this debris and all this sludge off of it. Make all these sealing surfaces look new. There's going to be some silicone right here where it where the cover and the block match up together. So you need to put silicone on it when you go back with it, but you got to get all that old silicone off of it. Clean all these surfaces off. There'll be some more silicone on the front of the engine right there. Clean all these surfaces up. While you got in there, it's a good time to look at your chain. Make sure your chain's good and tight and there ain't no slack in your chain. And that's it. Just clean it up, put it back together like you took it off. All right, we got it cleaned up. Now we're ready to go back with it. But before we go back with it, we need to add a little bit of silicone right here to where that timing cover and that block meets up on the front and the back of the engine. So you won't have to worry about any leaks. Anyway, what we like to use, Permatex Ultra Black Gasket Maker. Seal up any crack. All right, we got it changed out. That's the part number on the one that we had replaced it with. But I don't know if you could hear that leak a while ago or not, but it's definitely not doing it now. You don't have any kind of vacuum here at this valve. So we're gonna clear all the codes and go drive it and check it. You always want to check, make sure all the way around it. Make sure you don't have any oil leaks after your drive. Make sure your gasket didn't roll or anything. You always want to double check and make sure you don't have any kind of oil leaks. So we're gonna clear the codes and go drive it and bring it back and make sure we don't have any oil leaks. Make sure it's still good, and we'll see what happens. All right, no check engine light. I had one of my guys go drive it, see if everything was good. He came back and checked and said it wasn't leaking. But there's a couple of codes on here that you may have to run through a couple of drive cycles for them to come on, like that catalyst code. I'm not sure if that catalyst code will be caused by an intake leak. But it's possible. I know them PCV valves do cause a lot of codes if they're left like that for very long. They'll come in with a train load of codes in the PCM because of that. But anyway, I'm gonna go drive it again myself and come back, and I'll get the scan tool and check it just to make sure no codes are resetting. Alrighty then, I've put 5 or 6 miles on the vehicle, and there's no check engine light that's showing, but that doesn't mean it didn't set a code. It could set a code. You have to go through a couple of drive cycles sometimes for the light to illuminate. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video right here. I'm gonna go back to the shop, and I'll pull it back in the shop, and I'll get the big scan tool and scan. And if it did set a code, I'll pick y'all back up and let y'all know. But if y'all don't hear nothing else from me, y'all just assume that valve cover fixed it, and it fixed all those. How many is there on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 codes was set because the PCV valve that's built into the top of a valve cover on a 1.4 liter turbo that Chevrolet puts in their Cruzes and several other things has a little diaphragm inside of it that ruptures and creates an intake leak and causes all kind of problems. It could cause it to run rough, it could cause it to stutter and die, it could cause just the light to be on, it could cause the engine to idle a little bit higher than normal. Anyway, if you have any of those problems, always pull the little cover up off the top of the engine, check for a vacuum leak right there at that PCV valve. If it's leaking, go ahead and throw you a camshaft cover or valve cover on it, and that'll take care of your problem. Easy peasy. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to build this channel up and get some more subscribers. And then give me a thumbs up button if you liked it. Give me some comments. Let me know what you didn't like about it, what you did like about it, what I need to do different on my videos. And anyway, that's gonna be all from Columbia Auto Service. What you working on today?